Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 35-point game of my eCaine, Epic Cane, versus Strakhov. So to start off, this game is going to be pretty interesting because both of us, this is the first time we're going to be using the casters we're going to be using. He's never used Strakhov before, and actually I just picked up eCaine this week and just painted him this week. So, I mean, the whole week I was really excited to use him, but just couldn't really figure out a day to play. We arranged this day, and I was like, yeah, he's going to be so cool, shoot things up, he's going to be so awesome. And really I was just excited to see what he was going to do. My excitement quickly waned, though, as soon as I saw what the lists were and what the mission was and how I thought the game was going to play out. So the game we're playing is called Bunkers. So what you need to do is control the zone in the far right. Your deployment zone is going to be on the left corner, going out 28 inches across, and then out 7 inches if you go first, which was him, 10 inches if you're going second, which was me. And yeah, you need to do that twice to win. And at the same time, you also have reserves coming in. And yeah, his reserves were pretty crazy. So, I mean, I'm going to go over the lists in a second, but his reserves were Fenris, who is this mounted, crazy weapon master, and Kale Baylock. And so what that really means is if I'm in that zone whatsoever, he can charge me. So that's going to be very difficult. And yeah, I was really wondering what I was going to do with this game when I first was deploying here. So this is his army here, and I'll let you know what he has from left to right. So first of all, off the board, of course, like I said, he has Fenris and he has Kale Baylock. He has 2 Kyazi Eliminators. He has a Conquest. Then underneath his arm there, he has what's the hell's his name? Strakhov, and then he has his War Dog, he has a Kodiak, then he has the Ironfang Pikeman with UA. And the reason why this all worries me is that sure, I have, lots of great shooting and this stuff, and pretty sure I can deal with the Ironfang Pikemen or with the Eliminators, but the problem is that they're both really fast. Between the mini feet or just, running for the Eliminators, they can just get right into me and tie me up, and once they tie me up, it's a lot harder to deal with them. The other issue here is just that bloody Conquest. I mean, sure, I have some things that can shoot him, and he didn't take mechanics, so I can do some serious damage. But man, the damage that his AoEs can do to my lung gunners, which I took, is going to be just devastating. Of course, if he gets into a zone, he'll be very hard to take out. If I focus my shooting to try and take out the other things, then of course I'm not taking out the Conquest. And it's just one of these things where I have so many priorities, and I know I don't have the resources to deal with them all at the same time. Alright, so for my side, I was a little bit limited on the models because, stupidly when I came up, I brought some models so I could take part in the steamroller if I could, but I didn't really get much else. But what I was able to do here is I also picked up a box of the long gunners, so it's the first time I'm going to be using them. I was really excited for them being able to double tap and basically do 2 power 20 shots into jacks and doing tons of damage. Of course, like I said, that excitement's reduced when I know how fast he could just engage me and destroy me with AoEs. But what I also got going on here is I have the Hunter, which is moved up, I have the Triumph, I have the Defender, and I have the Sentinel. Now the Sentinels would be pretty handy for keeping the Conquest shots from doing too much damage to my 2 heavies there just by taking one himself. But again, I'm in a really hard position where on one part I would love to have my heavies on the right side of the board so that they could be trying to kill Strakhov and picking off jacks and all these things, or even using them to be trying to kill Conquest. The problem is that with Fenris coming in, I know I need something strong over here in order to deal with Fenris when he comes in, just something to be physical, to kind of kill whatever he has. So I'm deciding to go more defensive with this jack package, and then when my reserves come in, which is going to be a Lancer and a Stormsmith, a Stormcaller, then I'll be using them to try and be more aggressive to take the zone. So his first turn, he's pretty much just moving up. He has superiority up on the Kodiak, and he has Sentinel up on the conquest, and that's something that had me really worried because him getting to get a free shot could really do a lot of damage to me. I mean, the whole thing where I just move up my long gunners, oh, free shot, boom, and I lose a whole bunch right away before it's even his turn. So, definitely worried, and also because of him having to deal with that wall, his conquest was farther back than I had planned. So I don't know if I can really get many shots on it this turn. So my first turn, what I basically do is I put one on the Triumph and I put one on the Hunter. The Hunter goes up and does a shot into the Kodiak. It does a little bit of damage, 4 points. Yeah. The Long Gunners do a run, but don't really go up that far, say like 5-6 inches. Again, just because I was worried about him doing the sentry shot into them. As well, if I go too far, then the Eliminators could charge me. So I'm holding a little bit back. Then I go up with the Triumph. It uses its focus to turn its shot into an AoE, but I don't get the lucky scatter. And otherwise, I have eCaine that moves over, puts on the true shot on himself so he can ignore stealth, and he's just basically waiting to deal with either the Eliminators or the Iron Fang Pikemen, whoever advances on me first, and hopefully it won't be both. His turn 2 then, and this is where I felt that I was in big trouble and a little bit lucky. Now, one of the things he did here is he brought in his reserve, so you see Fenris there, you also see Kale Baylock. He ran with the Conquest, so he's up there. The Kodiak ran, so he's in the middle of the woods right now. It's impossible to see him because he actually bunched the trees around him, goofing around, hoping I'd forget about him. But really, I got this Kodiak that's sneaking right up into my grill here. Meanwhile, the Eliminators are sneaking up behind the hill, and the Iron Fang Pikemen are also moving up. However, he was not as aggressive as I thought he was going to be. I mean, those Iron Fang Pikemen could have been a lot closer. And on the left side, Fenris isn't as close either. The biggest thing, though, is the Eliminators. The Eliminators, one is in the zone because he's behind the building, but the other one you can see is only half in. So that means he's not controlling the zone. And oddly enough, I don't want to move over and kill that one, or else then he would be controlling. But the other thing is on the other side that he only has half the unit in the zone. So if on my turn I go over and I kill those Iron Fang that are inside the zone and score in a control point, then all of a sudden I might be able to turn this game around. Otherwise, I mean, he's going to be all over me next turn, definitely gain a control point. Conquest could already be in the zone, and I'm just going to be in big trouble. I'm in no position to get a caster kill, so I just really got to hope for a scenario here. So on my turn, I upkeep True Shot. I don't give out any focus because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it all. On the left side, first of all, I measure out my control range, and it looks like I'll be kind of close to be shooting at his Conquest there, and so I decide to go and I aim and I go to shoot at the Conquest. Unfortunately, I didn't guesstimate right. The back rank is out by an inch, the far right guy's out, so really all I had was 2 POW 14s, I think I did 4 damage or 5 damage or something, and that's it. So a little bit disappointing there. On the left side, I moved over with the Sentinel. I got 5 shots, which was lucky, and did a good amount of damage. Then because I figured I might as well to try and help things on the left side, I moved over to Defender, and I missed. Then I moved over to Triumph, and I unhorsed him. So, I mean, that's something. At least he won't be completely in my face next turn. On the right side, I had... First of all, I moved up the Hunter, hoping to trigger his Sentinel, but he didn't do it yet. I went and shot his Conquest, did a tiny bit of damage, but I mean, he has so many boxes, he doesn't really care. And this is where I had to go for it. I mean, I brought in my Lancer, my Stormcaller. Of course, the Lancer is full of 3 focus, because he gets it for free. And then I start with my eCaine, go over, pop my feet, and just start shooting. And unfortunately, I don't do as hot. My first shot fails to kill. I miss my second shot. Then I missed one of my other shots. And really what that meant is that I needed all my shots in order to kill what I needed. I mean, I knew the last two guys I could get to with the Lancer, but I was pretty sure I needed eCaine to kill everything else for this plan to work. I mean, if everything would have gone perfect, I would have had those 3 focus to do Gatecrasher and get the hell away again. But as it was, I just had to go all in. Because like I said, winning by scenario is my only option right now. So I do that, the Lancer comes in, kills the 2 guys he needs to, and then the Stormcaller runs in to score me a point. And so also now, my opponent knows that he really has to figure something out or else he's in trouble. And yeah, just to kind of focus on this situation here, I mean, I'm pretty sure his Conquest can't get in with a run. Maybe he can do it with the Kodiak. He can flood it with these last few guys here, and maybe he could put Strakhov in. I mean, he could just camp everything and walk in. But for the most part, he'll have to be very careful, and if he does not kill eCaine, I stand a very good chance of being able to score my second control point. And then this happened. You know, he put 3 focus onto his Kodiak, and I told him, like, well, you can't see me, you can't charge me. And then he reminded me that, well, at the same time, he can still trample. And so like, oh, damn it. So he tramples all the way to me. And, I mean, I'm defense 17, so I'm pretty high. But the other problem here is that with that superiority spell he has on him, he is also +2 mat. So what he does is he boosts the hit. Well, first he has to buy an attack, boost the hit, manage the hit, and then he does tons of damage and leaves me with 3 boxes. So I survive, but this was definitely a big scare. But it didn't matter because he had also put 2 focus onto his Conquest. He just shot his Kodiak in the back, which, you know, he did need 8s, but he boosted to hit, boosted the damage, and yeah, there goes my ePic-Caine. So, victory to Strakhov, and yeah, when I was looking at this, first of all, I was a little bit disappointed. I mean, of course, coming to this game, I was really loving ePic-Caine, couldn't wait to see how awesome he'd do, and he was a little bit of a letdown. I mean, he went up kind of messed up on his feet turn, still got the job done, but I knew he was in a dangerous position, and then he died. I mean, that's one of the things. He has high defense, but his armor is only 13, so, I mean, even when you get that blast damage, it's still going to really hurt, especially when you can boost it. Obviously, in this army, it's really shooty. Would have really helped to have some more combat things, but I was really trying to wonder what I could do to have done anything different. Of course, if I would have moved up the long gunners farther, they could have gotten 2 POW 20s into the Conquest. Even then, that wouldn't have changed anything. So, I mean, probably what else I could have done with them is just ran up. I could have used some to swarm the zone on the left so that it would have been harder for him to score a point. And then if I was careful with my placement, I could have stopped him from trampling to eCaine. So that probably would have been the best thing. I mean, even then, maybe then the Conquest could have just done 2 shots to, say, like the Hunter, and then just boosted the blast damage on eCaine, and maybe that could have done it too. But you know what? Either way, it was an interesting game. Definitely a lot of challenges, and it was just, I mean, I think in the future, when I take a list that's better suited for it, I'll be doing a lot better, and I'm excited to use ePic-Caine again. So, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Bye.